Ladies and gents, welcome to UX, and this is the worst rebrand of all time, Cracker Barrel. Guess this was just posted an hour or so ago, 2 hours ago. I don't know. Yeah. So, I like fat electrician videos about different chains in America because you hear about them, but you don't know detail about them. And I got surprised a lot. I knew about Waffle House Index, kinda, but then I watched the video, it was insane. And yeah, Aldi's and all this. Cracker Barrel is another one that I've heard about, mostly because people make joke about it or something. Is it the joke that I'm thinking it's a joke? No way that would be the case. Like that would be too much on the nose. So what is it about? It's a food chain as far as I know. I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting. I was about to make a video about Hobby Lobby because I heard about that a lot. Their Fat Files already covered it. And then I realized Fat Files just posted something about Cracker Barrel, and apparently there's some controversy here. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. That's always fun.
I normally don't do current event dog pile type content, but nobody seems to be pointing out what is incredibly obvious to me, that this company might be pulling off the greatest marketing stunt in the past decade. Today we're talking about Cracker Barrel. If you don't know, they rebranded recently and absolutely everybody hates it. This is not a political war thing where the left likes it and the right doesn't.
Okay, is Fatrition Fallout 4 fan or is his editor?
Or the right likes it and the left doesn't. No, everybody across the political spectrum has come out and said, we absolutely hate what you've done with this.
Look how they massacred my boy.
It genuinely might be the most unifying thing that has happened to the United States of America since 9/11, okay? Do you know how bad you gotta fuck up to, in 2025, get Donald Trump and Gavin Newsom on the same page? The official DNC Twitter account even said, we think the new Cracker Barrel branding sucks too. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm gonna rephrase it a little bit differently so we're all on the same page. Cracker Barrel, AKA a restaurant unironically and literally named Cracker Barrel that has been accused of LGBTQ discrimination and racial discrimination, and when you walk inside is decorated as though it's Minnie's haberdashery from the Quentin Tarantino movie The Hateful Eight, has rebranded and remodeled some of the restaurants, and they fucked it up so bad that even the woke leftists are like, no, the segregated bus stop vibes were better.
Okay, first of all, what is next? All this left-wing, extreme left-wing community is going to go after libraries as well because history is not pro-LGBTQ. What are you even talking about? It's a theme. How are they discriminating? Are they not serving you food? Then you might be like correct. Theme shouldn't be something that affects you in that way. Like, why did they change it, man? Your uniqueness has gone now, if that's the case. Because I love that movie, Hateful Eight, and I love their vibe. I'm like, oh, it's a stage. You're telling me there's a chain they used to have this kind of restaurant will look like that? That would be awesome. It'd be fucking awesome just to witness. And like people can eat there every day. Come on. This is why USA is like in a lot of these areas is just awesome. Shit like this just exists. You just go out and this is why I think a lot of you like every time I hear about somebody like, oh, they don't just make food their home, they just go outside and eat because of shit like that. To me, sometimes it just feels insane. Like, okay, you go outside to eat every day. That's kind of weird. But shit like this, like, why would you not?
Bring it back. They've literally done such a bad job that it almost feels like it's intentional, and I think it might be, and we're gonna get into it right after a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Supremacy World War III. It is a free online PvP strategy-based game where you get to act out a military in modern day. You can pick a country, or you can play the US battleground, and you can pick your favorite state, which is my favorite way to play, and obviously I'm gonna pick Iowa every single time. I like to mix it up by attacking a different state every time. Sometimes I like to attack cold California, Minnesota. Sometimes I like to attack Nebraska and show them whose corn is better, but this time I'm probably gonna go ahead and attack Wisconsin because let's face it, they don't stand a chance unless it's a drinking competition.
One, we're not babies. And two, we're not that drunk.
But it gets better because right now for season 18, they have the cataclysmic mutation, which, the only thing that can make World War III more entertaining is the introduction of zombies. So if you want to give it a try, it's free on both PC and mobile. And when you use my link and discount code down below, you're going to unlock an elite bomber that appears to be based off the B1, the bone. See what they did there? B1, bone, get it? Anyways, go ahead and check out the game. Let's get back to the video. All right, Cracker Barrel. We're going to start off with a little history, how the company came to be. Why? Because you got to understand where the company comes from to understand where it's going or where it should be going, right? Makes sense. So, Cracker Barrel was started by a guy by the name of Dan Evans. Dan Evans was a Marine that joined after World War II, fought.
Every story, I guess that's Is it because Federation is covering it, or is it all stories like that? Oh, he was some Marine, like serving World War II or something, came back with, I don't know, like bigger business brain than anyone else and created a multi-billion-dollar business. How many stories like that exist, man? Every single time you make video like this, that's the case.
In Korea, came back home, worked a couple of different jobs, and then went to work in his family's oil company, going to gas stations, basically being a salesman for gas to small gas stations. Now, during the same time period, in the couple of decades after World War II, America was building and finishing its interstate highway system. Basically, America saw Germany's Autobahn in World War II and was like, oh, that's a good idea, we're gonna win this war and then steal that idea, which is exactly what we did. Now, the problem at the time, or at least for Rob Evans, was this meant that people were gonna be using these massive interstates to just cut right through the land, and they weren't going to be taking all the small highways that everybody used before, and this put a lot of smaller gas stations out of business. Rather than just slowly decline and go out of business and fade into nothing, Rob Evans said, okay, we've got this new thing.
Okay, but wait a minute, you can't have like, I mean, you can have like gas station at the interstate, right? Why didn't government just approach these people like, yeah, we are about to do this. If you want to shift to interstate, I guess we can work toward that plan since we are building the interstate. I don't know, couldn't have done that. This is insane. Like I see, like in where I live, like the overbridges are a thing because congestion is becoming a much bigger issue. The government is like, fuck it, overbridges. And I see small shops and small things. I mean, there was like already congestion there, sure, but because of these overbridges, like nobody's gonna care about, like especially people who are gonna bypass this. Like they're not gonna go down, right? Like they're just gonna take the overbridge. So a lot of businesses took it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like things that were like really busy shops are no longer busy. A lot of them were like rich enough that they shifted another brand somewhere else, something. But yeah, there must be some people who got screwed over, man.
It's kind of cool. Massive highway, goes really fast. People are traveling further, faster. That's great, but it does have some shortcomings. These massive interstates don't cut right through the middle of towns like these highways did. And people that are traveling for hours on end are still gonna need gas, they're still gonna need food, and a lot of them are still probably gonna wanna pick up knickknacks and souvenirs to say, hey, I was in this place, like a shot glass or a magnet or whatever the fuck.
No, Dad, not that, please. Here you go, sport.
So that's what he built. He built the first Cracker Barrel. It was a gas station / restaurant / souvenir store, and he slapped it right on the interstate.
Oh my god. So Cracker Barrel started that shit. Their petrol pumps are also grocery stores. Even in India, Shell pumps and things. Even in Britain, everywhere, that's a thing. If somebody will fill up the car, I'll be back and just go grocery shopping. Like, what the fuck?
State in Lebanon, Tennessee in 1969. And to nobody's surprise, it was outrageously popular. It was the one-stop shop concept. You're driving down the road for 6 hours straight. You've got 4 more hours to go. Oh, look, there's one spot I can stop. I can get gas, dinner, and a souvenir. Perfect. Then I'm gonna get back on the road. The entire concept kind of felt like a general store back in the Old West. Like, it doesn't matter what you're looking for. You have to go to the only store in town to get it. And if they don't have it, they'll order it. So that's what he kind of themed it after. He themed it after an old Western general store. And because of that, he decided to name it Cracker Barrel because back in the Old West, the general stores had barrels that were full of crackers.
Don't do that. What? Why are you winking at me?
From here, the business grew like wildfire, but the interstates were becoming, more and more of a thing. Gas stations were popping up. People were copying the same strategy. So he's like, gas isn't really making us that much money. We're going to drop the gas portion and we're just going to be a restaurant with a souvenir shop in it, but we're still going to be right on the interstate. And that is how we arrived at the Cracker Barrel that we all know today. It is a Western general store themed restaurant that serves Southern food and has a gift shop up front that is actually secretly evil, but genius at the same time. That little knickknack shop up front is responsible for 20% of Cracker Barrel's overall revenue, and they made like $3.5 billion last year, meaning they're moving like $700 million worth of knickknacks every single year. I know what you're thinking, how is that even possible? Because if you have a family and you go to Cracker Barrel, that gift shop is like a family-friendly version of the Saw movie.
Gary. What do you want? Awake. What?
You are completely surrounded by armed mousetraps.
There's a 15-minute wait at the restaurant. You now must stand inside of an old-timey toy store for 15 minutes with your small children and not be compelled to buy them a harmonica and a cap gun. Mission fucking impossible, okay? Sorry, I'm trauma dumping. Anyways, now we're in modern times. In 2023, they got a new...
Yeah, this is ingenious. I guess Amazon picked up in the modern sense with online stores basically doing shit like this. Pretty sure Amazon tried to sell people phones that only had Amazon app in it. Like you can even access Google Store and shit like that. And anything you want to do, you will do through Amazon. So not they just sold the phone, but that phone can only do Amazon website and buy through Amazon. It's just like, yeah, ecosystem, but in a way that it just like entangle everything. So this is physical version of that. Oh, buy a toy and then eat food, and we win. By the way, buy petrol, which is just there. Why not?
CEO Julie Messina. Okay, now the CEO that she replaced was more or less shit-canned very politely. They didn't fire her, they accelerated her retirement plan. Okay, whatever, that's fine. They have a new CEO, this Julie Messina person. Is she an inside hire from the company that understands the culture and what makes the company successful? No, of course she isn't. We're gonna bring in somebody else that's an industry expert and they're gonna know how to fix everything, which never ever works. But you know what? Maybe she's the exception. Okay, what's her background? Oh, she was the head of marketing at Starbucks. Not looking great, okay? You know what company doesn't need marketing? Starbucks. Have you ever seen a Starbucks commercial?
It's not even the same thing though. Starbucks caters to like very different type of people. You think of people like college people, business people. Cracker Barrel is a specific thing, right? It doesn't feel the same way, right? Like, I don't know. Usually whenever like, okay, CEO like doesn't know this, okay, we're gonna bring on some expert, shit never works out. You need somebody with vision to like carry things over.
Yeah, me neither. You ever seen a Starbucks ad? No, not really. Starbucks' business model is they're fucking everywhere, and do you want caffeine or not? The end. Being in charge of the head of marketing...
Like I said, Starbucks is like opposite spectrum of what Cracker Barrel should be, just based on the theme alone.
At Starbucks is like being in charge of selling ass candles to dogs. You can't fuck that job up. On top of that, Starbucks isn't even really trying to sell coffee. They're trying to sell gift cards so they can continue being the world's biggest unregulated bank, which I did an entire video on. We're not going to get into it. After that, she was the president of Taco Bell. Okay, that sounds like it could be pretty good, but I promise you, it's not. Okay, Taco Bell is owned by Yum Brands, and Yum Brands is a conglomerate that owns KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut, and that conglomerate is owned by Pepsi. Why does Pepsi...
Well, of course, it's owned by Pepsi. Everything devolved into either Pepsi or fucking Coca-Cola because cold drinks are that powerful. A cola in a carbonated drink is that fucking powerful. Pepsi even had a military. This is insanity. So, this is owned by Pepsi. Pizza Hut is part of it. We just had like Taco Bell like in past year or two here. But something like KFC and Pizza Hut has been here for an insanely long time. Pizza has been here for decades now. So if it's the same parent company, why didn't they just bring Taco Bell and like integrate it into Pizza Hut? Might as well.
Own fast food restaurants. Well, because in the 1970s and the 1980s, when Pepsi was trying to become a major household name, they could not compete with Coke because every restaurant in America had Coke machines and nobody wanted fucking Pepsi. So Pepsi went and bought 3 major food chains to force them to have Pepsi inside of the restaurant so they could force feed it to people and convince them that Pepsi was better. Pepsi literally said, we have no reputation and no customer base. We're going to buy 3 entities that have a massive following and we're going to use that to force feed our product into people.
Put it in your mouth and just eat it. God, I hate it. I don't care whether you hate it. You said you do it.
Which means, ultimately, at the end of the day, all they care about is the restaurants breaking even, maybe. They don't give a shit if the restaurants do good. They just want to sell more Pepsi. If so facto, all of her experience at being an industry expert is by working at a company that's fucking up to something other than selling good food to people, right? Starbucks is trying to be an unregulated bank, and Yum Brands is trying to force feed people Pepsi. There's an ulterior motive. They don't really care how the company does. But Cracker Barrel doesn't have that. The only thing they're up to is strong-arming me into buying a harmonica for my 4-year-old so that I slowly go insane. So she comes in 2003 and is like, you know what?
Imagine that shit. Oh, we bought just Cracker Barrel. Okay. So we make money by food? Yeah, not exactly. Yeah, we buy toy dinosaurs. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's what we do. First they enter this like toy shop and then they enter the food. Like, what is happening right now? That whole thing, right? That's insane.
What we need to do to fix everything with this company that's been functioning just fine for the past fucking 50 years, we should absolutely change everything. We'll do exactly the same thing we did with Taco Bell. We'll take a logo that's awesome and retro and cool, and then we'll make a minimalist version with less colors that everybody fucking hates. Because every time somebody looks at a logo of a multi-billion-dollar company, they want to look at it and say to themselves in the back of their head, I wonder how much the graphic designer got paid because I could have done that shit on Microsoft Paint. And then we'll go inside to the restaurants, we'll strip.
Yeah, but that is art in the modern world. Somebody got paid millions for a banana sellotape duct tape to a canvas. At this point, this is a massive fu to everyone, and that's what's happening everywhere, right? Like, okay, what is the worst shit I can think of that is so ridiculous that people will know that's ridiculous, and their brain will basically process that as an art. It's basically how we sometimes feel pain and pleasure mix, right? Sometimes somebody feels pain, but they also have this opioid / endorphin thing going on, so they feel pleasure somehow. This is why sometimes if you slap yourself trying to lift weight, you can lift more now. People just like, oh, this is ridiculous, it must be glorious, so it's an art. That shit is going much bigger nowadays. That's just insanity to me. And there's always that case, right? Like the Netflix Witcher thing. Oh, I mean, there is a guy who wrote these books, many books, which is a success now, but I know better because I'm a writer now. I'm gonna fuck up the whole narrative of Witcher. That shit will probably happen here. Oh, I know better. I know better than the 50 years of things, 50 years of accumulation of knowledge. I know better than that. So I'm gonna change it. That's what the fuck happened here.
Strip all the cool shit off the walls, we'll paint everything white like it's a rental property, and then put half of the cool shit back up with little plaques that tell you what it is, so it looks like a museum exhibit. You know, the same exact thing that we did to Taco Bell. Look what they did to my childhood. Taco Bell used to be beautiful, inside and out. It was absolutely fantastic, and now look at it. It's just a giant square blob of...
Somebody could tell me that Starbucks, and I would believe it. That's not good, so watering down everything into like one seamless thing is not good. You know how fucked up thing is? Like if you go to most offices, like any commercial offices for anything, in like go into any commercial building, go to offices, they all kinda look the same. Why is watering down everything into one theme somehow futuristic? Who says that? Who decided that? Why is uniqueness such a problem nowadays? We need to have it gray or white and just seamless, it will look sleek. To whom? People with Apple laptop and whatever the fuck, like some guy from Manhattan, New York. Most people are not in Manhattan, New York, especially Cracker Barrel. Why are you worrying about that shit?
Minimalist, millennial gray bullshit. Modern Taco Bells look like they got designed by a middle-aged white woman wearing Ugg boots who got all of her ideas off of Pinterest. I'm legitimately surprised they haven't changed their slogan from think outside the bun to something stupid like live, laugh, love. Oh wait, fuck, they did that in 2012 because when you go to Taco Bell, you're supposed to live Moss now. I hate it. Oh, I hate it.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
gets the people going.
So, is Cracker Barrel gonna go?
You know, I heard that in like Jay-Z and Kanye West song one day. What is that? Then I watched the movie. That is such a profound thing. Like, think about it. That can summarize the most of the internet today. That can summarize WWE in general, like how Mike's skill works. What does that mean? No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. It provokes an answer from something, whether negative or positive. That shit is so good, man. That's how politicians approach shit.
Downhill. Almost certainly. As soon as they announced this remodel and their rebranding, they lost 12% of their market share. $94 million just fucking erased from existence. And so far, the only response that Cracker Barrel has given out to enormous public backlash is to send the CEO onto the news to talk to Michael Strahan, an ex-NFL player that retired.
Why wasn't she fired instantly? If your CEO loses you 100 million in day one, that shouldn't be your CEO anymore. That's just common sense.
When I was in like 8th grade, but somehow still looks way younger than me. And she goes up there and has the balls or the ovaries, whatever, to look everybody in the face and gaslight us and be like, actually, people love the new design, despite the fact that nobody does.
Honestly, the feedback's been overwhelmingly positive that people like what we're doing. I'll give you another soundbite. The number one question that I got asked, Michael, was, how can I get a remodel? When can I get a remodel? How do I get on the list?
Oh, really?
So the
I don't know what to say, man. When I see her glasses and everything, yeah, be a CEO of Starbucks. Be in a setting where, like I said, rich people with Mercedes in Manhattan walk around with their like small white dog. What is that dog's name? Like whatever, the poodle, whatever. Walks into for a coffee, talks about, I don't know, some Netflix show or some shit. Not Cracker Barrel. Why is he CEO? That doesn't, like, of course he did all this shit. And of course he's going to defend, like, this is so on theme. It just makes sense.
Feedback and the buzz is so good, not only from our customers, but from our team members.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard.
So I'm 90% sure that Cracker Barrel, as we know it now, is gonna die off in the next 5 years. But there's a 10% chance that this is the most brilliant marketing stunt of all time. Okay, hear me out. They've lost $94 million, sure, but that's all stock price bull.
When I see her, it's prejudice, sure, but I don't see that. I just don't see that. I see someone, like I said, Netflix thing, that Witcher thing, somebody tried to make it modernize, change the flair and fucked it up. And so thick-headed that still doesn't want to change. Rational person will be like, you know what, I'm changing, but no. That person doesn't feel like to me like, oh, this is a stunt and I'm so clever. Yeah, I just don't see that shit. But that could be the byproduct, whether she won it or not. I don't know.
Bullshit, right? That's not real. It's not a realized loss yet, okay? It's all on paper. It's imaginary. It doesn't exist.
It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real.
In exchange for that 94 million imaginary dollar loss, they've gained hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of free publicity. When's the last time you heard about Cracker Barrel in the news? Fucking...
Yeah, but I'm in business, let's just say. I build factories and shit. When it comes to logistics like that, yeah, it's like an imaginary number, but that imaginary number is the rotation. You kind of rely on that in a way. I mean, if you're really clever, you can get around that, but like, you don't deal with money now. It's like, you know, like how to say, it's future valuation. Based on that, you're going to move forward. Even the business you do now will be kind of based on that. So it's not really imaginary. Like if you lost 100 million, if anything, that's going to have this amplification effect. If you fuck it up even more. Like I said, you can damage control and kind of recover. In that way, it's imaginary, sure. But if you can't recover, that's devastating. It's not just imaginary.
Never. Cracker Barrel is the talk of the town right now. Buh! But it's all negative publicity. Buh! Yeah, sure. But haven't you ever heard the phrase, there's no such thing as bad publicity? Okay, they've done such a shitty job. It's almost perfectly shitty, okay? This isn't a catastrophe. There's a 10%.
It's kinda. There's no such thing as bad publicity at a certain level. Beyond that, like not really, like Elon Musk. Tesla got fucked completely, right? Because he exposed what his he exposed which political side he's on. As soon as you say, I'm in this political side, you split your base instantly. Because there will be half people in this side, half people in that side. So his Tesla sales went down. And on top of that, he got with the technical issues where, problems were happening. People were actually attacking Tesla. So, yeah, I don't think Tesla still recovered from that shit. So that is such thing as bad publicity at the scale. But, like, it depends at what scale.
Chance that this is a controlled demolition on purpose. Okay, because here's the kicker. All the news articles are like, Cracker Barrel remodeled. Cool. They don't actually tell you that all Cracker Barrels didn't remodel. Only 30 of the 660 Cracker Barrels got a remodel. And if Cracker Barrel is smart, especially if they did this on purpose, they remodeled the 30 shittiest performing Cracker Barrels that they had that they were probably going to have to close down anyways. So
ooh, now questions. Which 30 did they remodel? Is it in like major places like New York and shit? Near there? If that's the case, then that CEO is not a moron. The CEO does have a brain because, like I said, like that's what my critique was. People living in Manhattan in these mega cities where they're insanely rich, even the bare base money they make is too high for most people. People like that will basically lives at Starbucks. Coffee is nothing. They drink coffee 50 times a day. It doesn't matter how much it costs. They live in places like that. They hang out in places like that. So if it looks similar, they hang out at Cracker Barrel. So if those 30 places are at places like that, maybe she's onto something. I don't know.
So now they're out $94 million on paper and whatever it costs to remodel 30 Cracker Barrels. $10 million, okay? They're out $105 million, 10 of which is real, 94 probably of which is on paper. In exchange, they've gotten, I don't know, $500 million in free publicity, and now in the other 630 Cracker Barrels all over the country, people are gonna go, oh shit, that Cracker Barrel hasn't been remodeled yet. We should eat there one last time because this is our last chance before they remodel it. All of a sudden, Cracker Barrel has the best year they've ever had.
Clever girl.
All of a sudden, Cracker Barrel's stock price goes through the roof. Now they're not losing money on paper. They're probably making money on paper, and they've probably made enough to offset the amount they spent remodeling the 30 locations that they were going to close anyways. They close those 30 stores down, and they carry on with business as usual. They change the logo back. They issue some corporate apology like, "We've heard your voice, and we respect and value your opinion, and that's why we've decided to bring the old white guy back onto the logo. He's not going to go to the Island of Misfit Toys with Aunt Jemima and the Indian girl from the Land of Lakes logo and Uncle Ben. No, he's gonna stay on the restaurant where he..."
That shit is never gonna happen. Same reason he just showed those other ones that they're not coming back. That guy's also not coming back. Because if you let that thing go, you can't bring it back. Because now the outrage will be 10 times higher. It's different. So that shit is never happening, I think. I don't know. They might change the theme back, but they're not bringing back the logo. I don't know if they're going to change the theme. Why didn't they just change the name? They should have called Cracker Barrel American Barrel or something. I'm pretty sure people have made so many jokes about Cracker Barrel for obvious reason. Like, people are not going to take seriously. And like, should we go to Cracker Barrel? Nah, I'm not going there. But if you change the name to American Barrel or something, oh, it's something new, it's something different. I don't know.
He belongs.
You're goddamn right.
And we're not going to remodel any more of the restaurants.
Walter
Fuck
White.
America. The end. Okay, and I know what you're thinking. That seems like an awful lot to go through just to have one good year of sales. And I would agree with you, okay? But here is the reason that I'm giving this a 10% possibility. There was never an issue with Cracker Barrel's decor, okay? Nobody went in there and was ever complaining like, "Oh shit, this Cracker Barrel looks like a fucking Cracker Barrel," okay? You know what you're getting into when you go to Cracker Barrel. Nobody's complaining. If you go back to before this PR nightmare hit the internet, all of the complaints about Cracker Barrel were about the food quality, menu changes, and bad service, okay? Cracker Barrel didn't just remodel 30 locations, they also revitalized the menu across all 660 Cracker Barrels, including bringing back old favorites like Uncle Herschel's favorite. So presumably they fixed the actual issues that Cracker Barrel had, but the problem is with the restaurant, once you go there 2 or 3 times and you don't have a good meal, you're probably just never going to go there again. So they needed to come up with a way to convince people to come back to Cracker Barrel one last time, to give them one last chance, to give them a good experience. And they could have staged this entire PR nightmare on purpose to do just that. And
So let me get this straight. Your point is that flyover states, which is basically Republican states, where probably Cracker Barrel is more popular compared to the mega cities like New York, Los Angeles, which is more like liberal state, Cracker Barrel changed to something liberal-esque with Starbucks looking shit with white walls and everything, which is going to bring back the Republican flower state people. Wouldn't that piss them off more? Like, oh, Cracker Barrel went too woke now. I'm not going there. Isn't this like definition of like bad publicity is really bad publicity this time? Like, I don't see this. I feel like they fucked up in this element. Maybe they'll let go of the CEO or something and slowly go back to what they were, or not. It will die out. Those 30 locations will be the way they are. Others will be the way they are. I don't know.
the added kicker, they get to spin the entire thing like, hey, we're the one company that listens to you guys. We're the one company that didn't sacrifice their legendary, well-known mascot and take him off the brand forever. No, we brought him back because you guys wanted him. We kept the restaurant the same because that's what you guys wanted. Cracker Barrel is an American institution, and we listen to you guys and we give you what you want, and then everybody loves Cracker Barrel and their new awesome menu. But like I said, I don't think they're that smart. I give it a 10% chance that that's actually what's happening, and there's a 90% chance that Cracker Barrel is just circling the drain and will be gone in 5 years. So there's that. Thanks for watching. All right, emergency update. Never really had to do this before, and like I said, that's probably because I don't like covering emerging trendy topics, but I guess here we are. Everything you've seen up until this point was filmed on the 24th, and it is now the 26th at approximately 7 o'clock Central Time, and I've just been informed via Twitter or X, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that Cracker Barrel has issued their corporate apology, and they're going to be keeping their original logo.
Well, there we go. So it was a stunt. Manufacturing is just on point. We bringing back the old guy with the barrel, and people are like, yeah, finally we've won against woke bullshit, and finally old ways are back. I guess it was a stunt. That would bring back the people.
Because of this, I will now be updating my prediction. There is no longer a 10% chance that this is an
100%.
intentional marketing ploy. There is now a 50-50 chance that this is intentional. They're doing it on purpose. And if they are, it's absolutely genius. And if they're not, it's the worst idea I've ever seen in my entire life. Anyways, thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out. If I'm right about this, I will, for the rest of my life, claim that somebody at Cracker Barrel headquarters saw my video, stole my idea, and saved the company forever. Probably not the truth, but that's what I'm gonna roll with.
I think you should claim that you're right in every single video because you were right about this. Listen to Fatrition. Because remember Cracker Barrel, that's all you have to say in every single video, wherever you have to prove a point. Okay, now I think it's 100% chance of 50-50 because bringing back the white guy on a barrel would be anti-woke as anti-woke can be, and they try to go somewhat woke because of the backlash. Bringing back that logo in itself would be too much, where backlash exponentially rises, and they don't care about that. Which clearly means they didn't care about any of this, which just means that it was a stunt. Man, I didn't thought that this whole have the cynical mentality, like no way they're that smart, they're stupid. I was usually that mentality, no way anyone's that smart. But Fatrition was actually right. Cracker Barrel were that smart. They are actually pulling that shit. Damn, that's something. We'll see how much Cracker Barrel goes up, I guess, in future. That would be insane, insane thing that we just witnessed. Alright, well, that was the worst rebrand of all time, Cracker Barrel. Okay, all the video I see from Fat Files is usually some insane thing that is top-notch, untouchable. This is the first kind of negative-esque video. Or Cracker Barrel going down the drain. But maybe not, maybe this is the first video I've seen that. Alright, well, I guess I'll see you next time.